Sean Henderson Pierre back again, looking at Rebel IPA by Sam Adams, part of their Rebel IPA line. You have the Rebel IPA, which is in the red. You got this one. You have the Double IPA, which is in the green bottle. You have the grapefruit, and they have a new one called the Cascade IPA. So it's the IPA line that they have going at Sam Adams Boston Beer Company, Jim Cook. 4.5% ABV, an IPA beer, American IPA style. Gets an okay score on Beer Advocate. The bros like it a lot. So, let's take a look, people, shall we? Here's the color. Nice little head, as you can see in my beer. Yes. Pretty good right now, as you can see. Not bad. Nice little color. Now onto the scent. Nice little lacing, of course. Scent of a typical IPA. Scent a lot of citrus. Sorry. Pew. A lot of citrus scent there. Orange, grapefruit. Very hoppy. Had this in my little wine formula wine cooler, which I didn't, or I picked up. I mostly drank was, white wine. But now my beloved is using that to store her strawberry shortcake wine from Arbor Mist, which I had and was like, I think I'll pass on that. But in any event, here we go to the taste. Pretty mild for an IPA. 4.5 tastes almost like a bit of a wine cooler taste to me, but 4.5%, I don't know, folks. And as you can see, still a little more lacing. I guess. Of course, we all know Sam Adams. Of course, they're Jim Cook and his band of breweries and merry mates. Of course, founders of Boston Beer Company, 1984. Of course, Sam Adams Boston Lager, one of the foundings. Of course, they consider them as, of course, one of the founding fathers of the beer movement, craft beer movement, I should say. Started back in the 1980s. Microbrew, craze. Of course, you look at French Montauk and there's boys out there at Anchor Brewing Company, of course, Sierra Nevada. Then you come out east, you got these folks. You got the folks at Harpoon, up in Boston, of course, nearby Boston. You got these folks here, so they've all been in the founding fathers. Throw in Mr. Yuengling, Richard Yuengling, Dick Yuengling, Richard Yuengling, the second or third, I believe. Of course, his brewery have Yuengling Lager and all the other beers. Of course, one of the founders of the whole micro brew movement that took place really in the craze in the 1980s and somewhat dipped a little bit in the 90s, but came back with full force in the late 90s. And now here we are to this day. People want good beer, not crap beer. So, not crap beer. People want it good beer. Good, well-crafted beer, not crap beer. There. Better. Anyhow. I mean, it's all right, guys. It's pretty mild for IPAs. Most of the IPAs I've had lately have been in that 5 to 7% range, 5 to 8%. If you want to throw in the double IPAs, which I have the other the Rebel lines from Sam Adams, Boston Beer Company. That one is 8.2%, which I'll probably do a review of it maybe sometime this week. But folks, there's nothing really to cry home about. It's decent enough. It's not terrible. It's good. I mean, a pound, maybe two of these, and I'll be okay. Okay. Whoa, gee, what, Sean? What's going on? Woo. So it's decent enough. So I mean, it has this place, as you can see, the beer I'm sampling. If you haven't seen yet, so um, and most of those other IPAs are have a little more punch to it. This is pleasant and it's mild and can. And for those who are being introduced to the style of IPA, I would probably tell them to sample this first, or maybe sample the Stone IPA if you want to go. Maybe the Ranger, by New Belgium. So I think those would probably be the two that I would recommend that y'all sample and just give it if you're willing to introduce them to someone who's never had an IPA. What is an Indian Pale Ale? The style's been around forever. Now has grown in popularity within the last 20, well, more so the last 10 years. It's been around been around forever, but really in the last 10 years has really like exploded. I'm almost every brewery. Even some of the big boys are now are doing an IPA. But again, the style's been here forever. What hip, what's likable, what's catchy. People want to catch on. Hey, let's get on the gravy train. Let's milk it for what it's worth. You know, so it is what it is. So, I'm gonna give this beer an 8.5. I mean, it's not nothing negative about it, folks. It's a good beer. Again, if you're introducing someone to India Pale Ales, or introducing someone to an Indian Pale Lager, or a Belgian style ale, I mean, introduce them to something similar to this. That's not too strong, but it's not weak. Kind of an in between, in between. So 8.5 for me on this beer. So I think it's about a fair score in the 80s. So tell me what you think. If I'm crazy for ranking that, it does deserve a higher score. Maybe tell me you're nuts, but I think 8.5 is about fair for this one. So the Rebel IP I've had from Sam Adams, I really like a lot. Really, and I'm really cannot wait to try that double IPA, which I will sometime, I guess, this week. Whenever I get time. But anyhow, tell me what you think about this beer, folks. If you like it, it's is good. You've had this before. Is this awesome? Is the best thing you ever had, or is the worst thing you ever had? Tell me. Leave your comments on the bottom of the screen here. John and Pierre, the Beer Ramble, telling you to keep on watching, and as always, cheers.